Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think it's important to note probably the root reason why oversight of the CFPB was included in the original legislation. That is, the CFPB doesn't have to consider safety and soundness when they're making rules. I mean, safety and soundness is the gold standard when we look at our banking industry and how it effectively works within our society. And because that is not included, we just look at consumer protection. I think the rationale was that, well, we should have an outside group review each rule that comes out to make sure it will not undermine our financial sector. I have to tell you, I'm quite amazed, though. My friends across the aisle, they draft a bill that includes a review process that only gives a voice to big banks on Wall Street, only gives a voice to those banks that are too big to fail. And so I come out with a common sense reform, and I say, listen, let's just not give a voice to your friends on Wall Street. Let's give a voice to the small community banks in rural Wisconsin, small credit unions in rural Wisconsin. Let's give them a voice too. And when we do that, when we make that proposal, Mr. Chairman, it seems like they want to take their ball and go home and say, well, if you want to give a voice to small community banks, then no one should have a voice to express their concern for a rule that could be harmful. I mean, when you look at small community banks that are already overregulated, small community banks and credit unions who had nothing to do with the financial crisis, but are going to be stuck dealing with over 2,000 pages of rules from Dodd-Frank, let's give them a voice to come here and say, this is how these rules will impact and affect us. And so I would say to my friends across the aisle, don't take your ball and go home. Let's actually work together and find a way where we can give a voice to those banks and those credit unions who don't currently have one. With that, I yield back to the Madam Chairwoman.